This week, I forget how words work. Discover that Saga class isn't just something your granny books after tea and bingo, and take a flight where a chiropractor isn't the only thing not included. As I find out if it's worth flying business class across the Atlantic with a stopover halfway.
Welcome to Newark Liberty Airport in New York, and much like Newark Liberty Airport in New York, the airline I'm flying on tonight is one that I usually go out of my way to avoid. The city. Now, when it comes to flying across the Atlantic to Europe, a lot of the time I like to fly in business class, not only because it's a really comfy seat and it's a nice way to travel, but I love the flexibility it offers. I love the fact that I earn more points with frequent flyer schemes like in Star Alliance. I also really appreciate the flatbeds because when I get to the other end, it's really nice to be able to just hit the ground running and start filming and not feel like a zombie for 2 days.
Iceland Air aren't in any of those categories. They don't have fancy lie flat seats. They're not in any major global alliance, and to make matters worse, well, you can't even go all the way across the Atlantic with them. You have to get off a plane halfway and get onto another one. Hence why I've never really been interested in taking them before, but how bad can it be, really, considering the amount of money that you can actually save with them? Tonight, I'm going to try and find out. We're taking business class all the way across the pond to the UK with Iceland Air. First things first, let's get to a lounge. Now, Iceland Air is quite a small airline, relatively speaking, so they don't have their own lounge here at Newark. Instead, I had to use the Lufthansa lounge. Well, when I could actually get in, that was. Hi there, how are you doing? Iceland Air, is this the right lounge?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
The only thing we don't do is make the announcement for the board.
That's okay, thank you.
We have a board there just in case.
Nice one, thank you. Did that go through?
Yes, it did.
Amazing. Alright, thank you. The Lufthansa lounge was quite nice. There's a bar and a few snacks out too. So then, Iceland Air's business class is called Saga class, which sounds a little bit like something that your granny would book after seeing it in the back of the Radio Times, but actually it's the name of Iceland Air's business class product. And when I say business class, well, I've heard not the best things about it. It's not even like a full business class. It's kind of like a domestic business class that you get here in the States, but I live to try these new things, and tonight we're taking a flight to Iceland, and then from Iceland all the way over to the UK. Now, this trip to the UK is going to be a really quick fly-in visit. In 48 hours I'll be back here in the States again, and I'm a little bit worried about how my body's going to cope with all the jet lag and everything, and actually I'm going to be trying something really cool and really new on this trip. It's called Fly Kit, and it claims to help you get over jet lag with a whole range of high-tech solutions, and I'm going to have a look on this trip and figure out if it actually does make a difference and whether I actually end up not being a zombie for most of the trip. Now, it comes not only with these super cool blue light filtering glasses, more about those a little bit later, but you get a whole set of supplements that you get to take through the trip, and it looks really daunting. I opened this and I was like, oh my lord, what am I going to do with all these? But fear not, because they have an app as well, and on the app you synchronise your trip to it, and it tells you at which points during your trip you need to do different things. Put your glasses on, have the snack, have this tablet, and through the trip you keep taking all the ones that it recommends, and apparently you don't get jet lag. But we'll see. Right now it's telling me I've arrived in Newark Airport and I've got to have something to eat. Just on that. Already beat you on that one, Fly Kit. But I've also got to have 2 Protect capsules and 1 Sustain capsule as well before I get on my plane to Iceland. Let's do it. Alright, and there's my supplements. Alright, there we go. That's them washed out. We'll see what else we have to do. I'm going to mark those as complete in the app now, and we're done. And then in a couple of hours I've got to put on my blue light glasses. Yay. It's actually based on research with special ops and fighter pilots, so I'm basically a Navy SEAL now, right? Right, I think it's about time to get down to the gate actually, and see what Iceland Air have in store for us tonight. Alright, then time to head down to the gate. Newark Airport isn't really the best airport in New York. It's probably not even the best airport in Newark, to be honest, but it does have 2 key benefits for me tonight, because for a start it's only a very short flight from Iceland. It's like 4.5 hours or something from here to Iceland, but also it's a great connecting hub for me because I just fly up from Houston on United. It's another one of United's hubs, so it's plenty of flights every day up here to Newark, so it's really handy. Let's get down to the gate. Hi there, how are you? Good, thank you. I checked in online and I came in on a different airline, so I just didn't know if you needed to check my passport and everything and get my boarding passes printed or something.
No worries, let me just double check.
Save you shouting me later.
No, you're good, thank you. Just was curious.
Amazing, thank you. And will I get another one in Reykjavik?
Same one.
Oh, it's the same one. Okay.
Have you been
Amazing.
to the Lufthansa Lounge? I see you're in
I have just been there now. I've just come from there. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks.
Attention all passengers traveling with Iceland Air flight number 5622. We would like to extend our pre-boarding courtesy to passengers seated in rows 1 to 6, our business passengers, Saga passengers, as well as passengers who require special assistance to please proceed now to gate B61 for pre-boarding.
Hello there.
Vice Kayla, please proceed to gate B67.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Salvation, the gate B.
Tonight I'm flying on Iceland Air's proud A321neo Aspergi, which I can only assume is Icelandic for Asperger. Hello there.
Hi, welcome on board. Nice to meet you.
Right then, welcome on board Iceland Air's brand new Airbus A321neo, the first leg tonight across to Reykjavik. It's about a 4.5 hour run, and the business class, this is Saga class, but it's business class, and it's basically very similar to what you get in first class domestic here in the States. You get this sort of 2-2 config with the nice big reclining chairs, and it's very similar to that really. Not too bad for this first leg really, because we're leaving here at like 8 o'clock night or 7 o'clock my time, arriving into Reykjavik at like 1:30 in the morning my time. So for the first leg, it's just an evening on a plane. The layover in Reykjavik and the next 2-hour flight down to Glasgow is going to be the killer, I think. We'll see how we go later on. Hopefully these seats recline a fair bit and we're able to get a little bit of kit, but we've got nice big TVs on the plane anyway. That's pretty nice. Look, all of this along the bottom here, look, that's pretty nice as well. We've got loads of leg room. We've got little footrests going on down there as well. Blankets and even an amenity kit to go through. We'll have a look through that in a little bit, but yeah, looking forward to this nice little 4.5 hour run. Probably one of the shortest transatlantic flights from the US to Europe that you can do, but we'll see. Let's get on our way to Iceland, baby.
My first flight then took me northeast out of Newark to fly across New England and Canada before flying south of Greenland and into Reykjavik. Flight time was longer than planned for this route, 5 hours and 22 minutes, but cruising at 34,000 feet. It's going to be quite a nice flight actually. For me, it's all in the evening this leg. The next leg, as I said, will be the tricky one because it's like a really long layover there in Keflavik. And then a 2-hour leg down to Glasgow. We'll see how that goes. But you know what? For a few hours flight, this isn't too bad. The leg room is pretty decent. Nice in-flight entertainment. And we've got free Wi-Fi on board as well with Iceland Air. If you're flying in Saga Granny class, you get free Wi-Fi. That's pretty cool. I shall be entertained for most of the flight. And I don't actually know if the sun's going to set. It was sort of starting to set as we left Newark. It's got dark, but I think Reykjavik is kind of in 24-hour daylight now because of the whole kind of being up near the North Pole thingy. So yeah, that's going to be quite nice. So the menu for dinner has arrived and we have a choice tonight between get my Icelandic pronunciation head on. We have a choice at Smorjo Steiko Posko Mondlo Sapo Barin from Medio Svepari Soto of Bokonnokum, Golungokum, Ogdil og Hivitnisosu fish. Or we have a choice of steked peri-peri kycklingabringa med grænmeti, kösuberja tomatsalati, ristjondnalum og asiskri dressingu. Chicken. I think I might go for cod. Alright then, so dinner time, and of course because we are on Iceland Air, I've had to go for the fish. Bless you. Mainly because it's the only warm meal that they've got on the menu. The chicken was cold apparently, and I don't trust cold chicken. You might get salmonella. But anyway, this is what you got. So you got the cod and some rice and stuff, and that's pretty much it. There's no like 3-course dinner. You get the cod, and then there's like a cheesecake for pudding, and that's about it. We'll give it a go. I used to go to a chippy in England called the Codfather. Amazing name for a chippy, by the way, but they did much better fish than this. It's okay, but it's not Codfather fish. It's a little bit soggy, if you ask me. Then again, I'm not a fish expert, even though I did. Here's a bit of useless trivia for you. I used to be a fishmonger. It's not a euphemism. I used to work behind the fish counter at the co-op when I was 16. It was my first job. Imagine me in a white outfit and one of them little silly white hats. That was me. Glad to think we've moved on from those days.
Naturally, after reminiscing about my fishmonger days, I turned to the in-flight entertainment, where I discovered a thrilling documentary series called Well Managed Fisheries. I binged all 12 minutes.
Alright then, time to go through the Iceland Air amenity kit. It's in a paper bag, and on the back it says, I'll take the sleeve off so you can read it. The bag's made of high quality craft paper, natural, biodegradable and recyclable, but it's also, apart from being made of paper, apparently it's also long lasting until you get it wet and it falls to bits. But anyway, let's have a look at what we get inside. So it's in a very pretty little bag, albeit made of paper, and we have, an eye mask. That's quite a nice eye mask actually. That's quite pleasant. That's quite good. Suits me. Toothbrush, lip balm, skincare and cream. Earplugs are in Icelandic, Asian plugins, sockens, bit of paper. A gift from the bag's designer. It's a postcard. Presumably they're telling us something about the speed of the Wi-Fi in Keflavik airport, in that it might be quicker to send a postcard to say that we've landed. That's it. All gone. And it's alright. It's an amenity kit. It's in a paper bag. Like the paper bag ones, they're not very reusable. They make out like they're better for the environment, but you know what? This thing is just going to get trashed. The plastic ones that you get on the other airlines, I reuse them time and time again for various bits and bobs. This one, probably get used once, chucked away, to be honest. I mean, it's already ripped at the bottom. Well, look at that, look. So you just come out and it's already ripped.
With my amenity kit slowly disintegrating like my hopes of getting a hot breakfast, we began our descent into Iceland. The sun was just starting to rise over the southwestern edge of the island. Below me, lava fields, fjords, and absolutely no trees. It's stark and beautiful, and it kind of looks like the moon. Well, if the moon had a duty-free shop.
Thank you, have a good night. Thank you, bye-bye. Alright then, welcome to Iceland, home of course of frozen fish fingers, party rings and the one, the only Kerikatona. And I've got about 4 hours here now until my next flight, so hopefully there's a lounge or somewhere. I'm getting a bit tired now. It's sort of 1 AM now, so I'm absolutely cream cracking, but let's go and see if we can find somewhere to wait for a couple of hours until we fly. This is the downside of taking Iceland Air. You have to kind of stop off in Iceland halfway along the route. Hi there, how are you? I'm connecting to the UK. Is there a lounge that I can go to, or?
Not on this floor.
Okay, so do I?
You need to go to passport check.
Okay.
Passport security if you need to use the lounge, the Saga lounge. For an hour.
Oh yeah, my flight's at 9 or
Oh, you can go
9:20. So
Go that way.
Go ahead. You
Time.
can bring us back some food as well.
yeah, some breakfast. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, you too. Alright, so it seems I have to go through passport control to get to the lounge. It's an international lounge. It's probably the only lounge in the world I've been to where you've got to go through passport control to get to the lounge and then passport control to get out of the lounge. Let's go and try this. Hey there. How are you?
So are you staying or connecting?
I'm connecting. I'm back to Glasgow, but I'm just going to the lounge, so they said I needed to come through it. Passport control for the lounge.
Well, there's no lounge downstairs, so...
Well, exactly, and I've got 3 hours, so yeah, I might as well go through there. Sorry, mate.
I want your flight to Glasgow.
It's 10 past, or 10:10.
Oh, 10:10.
Yeah. Boarding at 9:20, so I think I have time.
Remember, you have to go to passport control again upstairs, so there could be a line. Just
Yeah, okay.
be aware of it.
I'll leave it like 30 minutes or so, maybe, hopefully.
There you go.
Amazing, thank you, have a good day.
Passport stamped and officially in Iceland, it was time to check out the Saga lounge at Keflavik airport.
Saga, of course. It's not full of grannies on a bus trip, it's the really nice, actually, lounge here in Keflavik, and it's the only lounge I've been to where you've got to go through passport control just to get to the lounge. But hey, here we are. We are officially in Iceland for an hour, maybe, and it's not a bad lounge, actually. It's quite nice. My Flykit app has just popped up and said now it's time for me to take one of my sustain supplements and also put my funky yellow glasses on, because I'm officially needing to start blocking out blue light. So here's my cool glasses, and these effectively, well, what these do is block out blue light to stop your brain from being wide awake. It helps with jet lag and all the rest of it. So ooh, pop those on, a bit weird, and take one of these sustainy things as well.
Honestly, within minutes of putting these on, I actually started feeling properly sleepy, even though it was broad daylight outside. I ended up actually dozing off in the lounge and nearly missed my flight. I was genuinely surprised how fast it worked. This stuff isn't snake oil, it's based on research done with Navy SEALs and fighter pilots. Flykit targets the two main causes of jet lag, inflammation and circadian rhythm disruption. If you want to give it a go on your next trip, get your own Flykit starter pack at flykit.com. Use the promo code NoelPhillips10 to get 10% off and support the channel while you're at it. The link's down in the description, and cheers to sleeping like a champ after a long flight.
Alright then, time to head down to the gate for the second flight on Iceland Air. Hopefully I get to sleep on this next plane for a little bit as well. That'll be nice. Hello, thank you. Alright, thank you, have a good day.
Pretty soon it was time to get back on board Iceland's most luxurious plane, but first I was treated to a standing room only ride in what can only be described as Iceland's answer to the London Underground, without the ventilation. Thankfully though, Iceland Air had thought about this, and I got to enjoy the bracing Icelandic air while climbing a metal staircase in gale force winds.
Welcome aboard.
Right then, next leg, 2 hours across to Glasgow now. It's now 4:45 in the morning. I'm absolutely cream crackered. About a 2 hour ride, hopefully get a little bit of kip on this flight. We will see. We'll see how we go. Sleep is in order, definitely.
The next leg then took me southeast out of Reykjavik to cross the Atlantic Ocean towards Scotland. Flight time today was 1 hour and 57 minutes, cruising at 35,000 feet. Now sleep was definitely in order, and somehow despite everything, the lounge limbo, the bus ride and the bracing Icelandic breeze, I actually got some. Next thing I knew, we were descending into Scotland, skimming low over the highlands as the morning sun lit everything up like a postcard. And it gave me a few moments to think. This journey hasn't exactly been your typical transatlantic business class experience, but maybe that's the point.
Such a beautiful approach and landing here. It really is.
Sure, you have to change planes in Iceland. Sure, there's no lie-flat seat, and you might find yourself clinging to a staircase in a snowstorm, but this ticket cost me just $1,300 one way. Now compare that to the $5,000 plus that you'll pay to fly British Airways or United, and you'd still need another flight up to Scotland. Plus I got to visit another country along the way, a bit of a detour maybe, but one that I'd say is absolutely worth it. Just remember to factor a chiropractor into the price. And look at that, parked up across the ramp from none other than the Global Airlines A380, which if you saw last week's video is exactly why I flew to Glasgow in the first place. If you missed that madness, I'll drop the link up on the screen now, and trust me, you will not want to miss it. Oh, and somehow I'm not even jet lagged, so thanks Flykit, science wins this round. There's a link in the description with 10% off if you want to check them out. Immigration was an absolute breeze, it took about 30 seconds. The roasting, however, started immediately after. Clearly word of my arrival had spread, unfortunately. Oh no.
How funny is this?
Love it, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
That was a nightmare, how are you?
How's it going?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, hi,
How's your flight?
nice to
I know,
meet you.
nice to meet
good
you.
to meet you
finally.
too. Hi, how are you?
Dom.
Hi Dom, nice to meet you.
See you again.
Hi, nice to see you. Yeah, how you doing? Hi Patrick.
By the way, I hope we're talking to the right person here.
Some true. Hey, yeah, you're alright. I just want to check in.
That's our tour for
Amazing, thank you very much.
That's the seat staying on your list.
That's amazing, thank you. Cheers, thank you. Alright then, welcome to Glasgow in Scotland, and I'm guessing I'm kind of releasing these a funny way around, so you will have already seen the reason that Mr. Cahill and Mr. Swiss 001 and Mr. Shea and all the other awesome YouTubers were there down, because tomorrow morning I'm taking the Global Airlines flight. Well, you've already seen that, that's already been out on the channel. If you've not seen it already, I'll pop a link on the screen. It's the inaugural flight of the Global A380 tomorrow, so that's why I'm here in Glasgow, Scotland, mate, and yeah, I've got a night here, and then we're off there tomorrow, back to the States tomorrow, so I'm absolutely cream cracker, to be completely honest. I am feeling a bit better for having those sleep glasses and things and bits and pieces. We'll see how it goes through the rest of the trip, but I will certainly let you know in more videos really how it goes on more of the trips, because I am all up for anything that helps you with stuff like that. And at the end of the day, Iceland, we were okay. I'd still prefer a non-stop flight over, I have to say. It's not so much the seats on the plane that were the issue, they were fine. It was more the fact of that 4-hour layover in Reykjavik, and then like all the getting downstairs, buses back to the plane, upstairs, downstairs, and the rest of it. It was just a bit of a pain in the backside, to be honest, when you just get on at one end and off at the other. But let me know down below if you think it's worth it for that, or whether you just save up a little bit more and go on like actual proper business class over the pond and just go non-stop. Let me know down in those comments. In the meantime, I am off to get some sleep, so thank you so much for watching. Take care, be kind, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.